And Nomadic Tribe took out the Australian U24 team in a universe point victory, just edging them out. And that brought them here to center court. All the noise behind me you probably hear, that is the Spirit Circle for the just completed mixed semifinal between Sunken Pleasure and Boracay Bandits. Boracay Bandits edging out Sunken Pleasure on Universe Point. So Crackerjacks with the disc, bring it up to the brick mark. A little bit of confusion as to where this brick mark is. Not sure how exactly this happened. How we've gone to the point of walking the disc up to a measured point. Thank you very much. And yes, I'm alone for now. I'm hoping to have a partner. Maybe I will rotate some people through. That's a fun way of doing it. But for now, I am solo. Another stoppage. Crackjack coming out in a horizontal stack. A lot of stoppages, or maybe it's just tough to get this game going. Foul stops play. And no, I currently do not have rosters or player numbers, nor a terribly good view of the field, so I will not be able to name players for now. Sorry. We are working on that. Big hammer goes up, but contact on the reception. Let's see how this sorts itself out. Looks like we've the 2 players involved and a translator and a game advisor involved. WFDF rules guru Ruben Berg getting closer and closer. This would seem to be one of those cases where I can see the disc going back, hopefully in the near future.
Bandits, tayo na, let's go.
And when it finishes up, we have a foul, no contest. Cracker Jacks take the disc on the goal line. So travel called. And there it is. Cracker Jacks put it in for a 1-1 score. So if you're a fan of Ultimate, you might see that Nomadic Tribe from Japan is here, but you do not see the Buzz Bullets. The Buzz Bullets have been suspended by the Japan Flying Disc Association. I am not exactly sure why or for how long, but they will not be attending international competitions anytime soon. But we have the very talented Nomadic Tribe.
Jared, how do you see anything? Oo, sabay sa next game. Pero baka hindi namin naroon. Against Carmen Norte. Okay. Yeah, I'm commentating. This is good.
Oh, you just wear it.
Oh, you got a screen.
And I welcome a partner. I'm no longer alone. Mr. Jude has come to join me for this men's final.
Hi, Jared.
Hey!
Sorry, I just came from a game, so I'm a little late.
No worries. How'd that go for you?
Not too well, not too well. A lot of fun, though.
No worries. But right now we're watching a men's final, so life will get better.
Yes.
Nomadic Tribe with the disc. We are currently on serve.
So Cracker Jacks, I believe, beat Sid Vicious to get here. Nomadic Tribe, you know who they played?
Yeah, they won their semifinal in a universe point victory over Paradigm from Australia.
Oh, wow, nice.
No, that was totally... that was not totally wrong. It was only partially wrong. They beat the Goannas from Australia
right,
on University Point, the Australian U24 squad. Paradigm is a mixed team.
Yeah, they're very good.
Who also lost in their semifinal. I get these Australian teams who lose in semifinals confused. Right? Cut me some slack.
Me too. All these tall white guys, they look the same to us Filipinos.
Two to 1, Nomadic Tribe still on serve. And another toasty day at Alabang Country Club.
Oh, you find it hot?
That's a wee bit warm.
Okay. Well, I'm from Boracay, so this feels like home. There's the pull. Nice pull into the end zone.
working just through the middle of the field.
Nice diving catch.
And contact with the marker running by, hitting the arm. And they are just outside the goal line.
There we go. Oh. Yep, that's the score.
And that brings it to 2-2. All tied up in the men's final of AOU GCC, the Asian Oceanic Ultimate and Guts Club Championship 2017.
Yeah, and just for your information, the Cracker Jacks were in the final at the last AOU GCC. That was in Singapore. They lost that one to our team, actually.
Ah,
But
the
hopefully we can
Visayan
take it-
Wild Mongrels. Yes. It's very different. Very different this year. There were 4 teams in that competition.
Yeah, it's a lot easier back then.
How many teams this year?
22.
In men's?
Yes.
Nice. 22 this year. 4 teams that year. Yep, Cracker Jacks, Visayan Mongrels, X Factor from Malaysia, and the Taiwanese side. Yeah. And even more exciting than this, we're going to have a women's final coming up, and the women's division 4 years ago,
There wasn't there.
there wasn't one.
There wasn't.
And there's 11 teams, I think, in this one.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great to see how big it grew. I mean, exploded in 4 years.
And that final, if I'm correct, is going to be Huck against Havoc Mayhem.
Yeah, the Japanese are in that one again. Where's Havoc?
Singaporean team.
Singapore. Oh, so we got another Japan-Singapore final.
Pretty sure.
And then the mixed final, I'm happy to say, we have 2 Philippine provincial teams. Nice hammer. Okay, so score is now 3-2, Nomadic Tribe. We're on serve, and that was Takayuki Yamaguchi with the score. And there's the pull. Cracker Jacks on the offense. Little dump. 2-man game. Okay, Japan's in a zone. And the Japanese, I've watched them play, some of their teams play zone, they're just so steady. They give you all those short little throws, but they make it very difficult to get to this cup field. And, this is definitely the way to beat it. You have to be patient, which Singapore is so far, taking it meter by meter. Getting downfield. That was close. Bit of a fake. Lost the cameraman. And the score. Okay, we're now 3-3. No breaks yet.
Hey, I'm sorry, earlier on I jumped the gun on the women's final. Actually, the other women's semifinal is just finishing up right now between the Vicious Ladies and Havoc Mayhem, and we will get that result as soon as possible so we know that the other finalists who will face Huck in the women's final later on.
Great, great. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be here for that one with you, Jared. I got to watch the mixed finals. Two of my favorite teams in the Philippines.
Yep, that's going to be Mulatto and the Boracay Bandits in the mix, which will be going on at the same time as the women's. Grr.
Yeah, Pirates. Okay, another nice deep pull. Good hang time. And you know, another thing I noticed here, looking at the lineups, Jared, even though we know any of these guys, they have some deep. I mean, they both have good amount of players. So a tournament like this, it's really a big plus. There were some good teams out there that just didn't have that many players.
No fear for the Japanese, putting it deep. Oh, that's Naoto Kuramochi. Had trouble finding that 96 in there. Naoto Kuramochi. Sorry both for the belated credit and the butchering of your name.
So, Jared, if you're doing this next time, you should ask for a cooler for the announcers. You know, I guess under one of these plastic tents, it does get a bit hotter.
Little toasty in here. I mean, I love me my Philippines, but in Hong Kong, we were in a nice air-conditioned booth doing this.
Pull goes out. Called the pick, I believe.
A little push-off.
Oh, push-off.
Japanese defender was, or pulled or mangled. The Japanese defender was not happy how he was physically assaulted by the Singaporean cutter.
Easy way to get open. Oh, nice. Thought Japanese are going to be able to make a play on that.
Very tight defense by the Japanese.
Oh, nice save.
No defenders outside of a couple meters of the play right here. Every pass is contested.
And Jack, they're very good at attacking that break side.
The Singaporeans are going to face a lot of that. The Japanese game is very physical, so there are going to be some bumps on the mark.
Yeah, I think they're used to that. They can play that way too.
Beautiful inside out.
Layup grab by. No, can't see the number.
Just for all the players, if you want us to know who you are when you make a grab, walk backwards towards the booth.
I don't think they're watching us.
Anyway, that was a sick grab to bring it to fours.
Yeah, no breaks yet this game, so. Let's see who can get that first break. Games like this, that it's a big deal. There are probably not going to be too many breaks throughout this whole game.
Like really intense moments. Yeah. Positive, where like the disc is like in the air.
Yes, that was some additional commentary we got from
the Australians, I believe.
Thank you for that. Doing a lot better job than we are. So.
Probably. Okay. Oh, wow, nice pull, great pulls deep into the end. I mean, defense is right there on the line by the time they catch this long throw.
Another big one.
Someone's going. Okay, nice. That's
Takayuki Yamaguchi.
Yamaguchi again. And he gets it to number 15.
Takuhana. I mean, I think this is going to be fun because we already see the Japanese are not afraid to put that disc up in the air.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the Singaporeans, they have good height compared to Japanese, and you know, the Japanese just throw it so perfectly, have a little bend that even, you know, these taller guys, they think they have a chance or they're in between you, but it just kind of goes right around them. So that was a beautiful put.
Now, we find the Japanese in all divisions are not afraid to put that disc in the air. They usually face height mismatches, but that is not something that stops them from putting that disc up. We're going to see Huck in the women's final, and their name is not ironic. They will be putting the disc up just as much or more than any team in this tournament. They're fun to watch.
Yeah. Japanese women are definitely a sight to see.
And timeout on the field. Nomadic Tribe up 5-4 over Crackjacks. We have a crowd of Bagani around me.
Those are my teammates. They're supporting me. Go, coach. Yeah, Jared, do you know, I mean, for those that didn't see this, is it going to be shown again, or is there a way to catch this?
Yes, this is on YouTube. It's on the
YouTube.
It is on the Philippine Flying Disc Association YouTube channel. So you get to watch it live, and then you can watch it over and over and over again.
We had a game the other day here on Field 1, so we'll be happy to watch ourselves on there.
Are you sure you actually want to watch that game again?
Yeah, I mean, well, to learn something, that's a great learning experience. We played the Malaysians, and they had some sick moves, really played as a team, played really well. I was very impressed.
Yeah, that was the Care Bears men's team, who played very well in that game. It was a great show by both teams. But Care Bears just had it a little bit more together than you guys in that one. And
yeah, so far almost everyone has.
I know how that is on a far field right now. We have the Cambodian and the Indonesian mixed teams going at each other. Both teams looking for their first victory. I will keep you up to date on the score of that when I hear about it.
There we go, another break throw.
And that's one thing that goes along with what you noted earlier about the Singaporean height. It's also length. They use their length on their throws very well. Their release points are very low, far from their body, hard to get out towards their throws.
Yeah, that's right. And they use it to set up that break, attack their break side. You know, you try to cover one side and the other side opens up, right?
Yeah, definitely hard to force them anywhere. You tell them they're going one way, they will go the other. 5-5.
Okay, 1 second, Jared. I think I'm going to join a team picture.
Do it. All right, so we've lost Jude momentarily for a team picture for Bagani. And we are still at 5-5 Nomadic Tribe and Cracker Jacks. This is Alabang Country Club in Manila in the Philippines. I am Jared Connors, based in Prek Chak, Cambodia. All kinds of love for my Hatien Vegas peeps, if any of you are tuning in. Pulled by Cracker Jacks. That was James Mason with the pull, if I saw correctly.
And Singapore is also, that's a very close mark, man. He was stuck all over him. Oh, nice foot block.
You know, Jude, I can't lie to you, not a big fan of foot blocks. I think they cause more injuries than good plays.
Do you? I love using my feet, man.
I think if you know how to do it, that's fine. I've seen too many serious injuries come from it.
What kind of, like,
people getting kicked in the hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you get the bottom of the cleat. You get someone in the throwing motion running into a bottom of a cleat. Not good for any of those small bones in your hand.
Never happened to me. I've never done it to anyone. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to be too close. You should know what you're doing.
Nice round bake. James was a high backhand into a space without a receiver going into it.
The cutter stopped. The thrower thought he was going to commit. He would have been open. Japanese, did he get it? Yes, he towed the line there. Stayed in.
And we're stopped. It's looking like...
It's looking like a foul, I would guess.
I'm looking over at Ping Batista across the way, and he was showing me the foul indication.
Someone is in front of the lower camera.
Once again, it goes up.
No, that was really short. Yeah, let's see if we'll get our first break for today. I believe Nomadic Tribe started on offense here, right?
Yes, and that was Hafiz Maideen who picked that disc up. I love that guy's throws.
Oh, here we go. Another long throw, and that is very short.
Now that the teams have traded short hucks. Oh, James went after that and is
he's
struggling to get up.
Yeah, I believe he has to come out.
Really tight D on the handler. Singapore giving Nomadic Tribe a lot of trouble. A lot of pressure on all the receivers downfield. Just missing, missing the disc.
He got the back of the leg there.
Yeah.
That looked like it hurt.
Missed the disc, but got a decent chunk of leg on that bid.
Like you said, these are two very physical teams. They don't
That's,
shy away from that contact.
Takahisa Ishii taking it in the leg. Oh! Takahisa Ishii once again. Hana.
Oh, wide open.
Taku Hana goes to Takayuki Yamaguchi to hold. Cracker Jacks threatened a break there, but Nomadic got the disc back, and we are still on serve.
Okay, and here's the pull. Japanese. Okay. Singapore centers the disc. Japan on a zone again.
You never know what you're going to find with a Japanese zone. You got
and it's a different one than earlier, right? I mean, it was a bit different formation. So they don't show you the same thing every time.
Looks like Katsuhide Hori is chasing on that mark. No, looks like they've gone back to person now.
Yeah, they've switched to man now. Breakthrow again.
A lot of patience on the goal line.
And the score. Yeah, unfortunately for the Singaporeans, they don't have their number on the front of their uniform.
Come on, Singapore, you know better than that. Give us a little help here. Let us give you the credit you deserve.
So anyway, lesson learned. I will make sure when we make our uniforms, we have that number on the front of the shorts.
Well, and another lesson, when we were doing the games in Hong Kong, the Australian team were nice enough to have their numbers in white on their white shirts. That wasn't helpful either.
Leave it to the Australians, right?
6-6 here. Nomadic Tribe, Cracker Jacks Crush, AOU, GCC, Men's Division Finals.
Very competitive, nice tight game. Okay, and Cracker Jacks with the pull. Nina. Okay, and so I just got word the Vicious Ladies lost. Okay, and he just waited for that one for the score. And that was Yuki Otani. Yuki Otani gives Nomadic Tribe the lead again. Okay, Japanese setting up their D. And yeah, they get some nice high pulls that float, get a lot of hang time, give them a lot of time to get down there and set their D. A zone again. Starting out with a zone. And the Japanese, they just look so calm on their zones. I mean, they don't even... A little bit of contact again. Oh, and a long throw. Looks like it'll get there. Yes. And Cracker Jacks ties it up. And that was Jamin Wang with the score. And so, Jared, I believe you didn't jump the gun earlier because I just got word the Vicious Ladies lost.
I was going to bring that word as well.
Okay.
And I think I found out the same way you did. I saw some Vicious Ladies walking by, and I said, how'd it go? And they gave me some really sad faces.
Yeah,
So-
basically.
So I think we are looking at Havoc Mayhem in the final against Huck. Havoc is a rather new Singaporean women's club. So I think that's going to be a real exciting chance for them to play a very experienced Japanese side.
And do you know who the other loser in the women's semifinal was? Because I'm just curious, because the Vicious is playing in the third and fourth game in the Open, and now I guess in the women's. So Philippines are in the third and fourth. I'm wondering who the other team in the
You know, I'm not sure. I don't know who. Not sure who Huck beat to get to the finals.
Okay, and this is a very important point. This is for the half. I mean, okay,
Once again,
there's
it goes
the
up.
Huck. Oh, he's got someone there. Oh, nice grab with the contact
Yuki Otani.
again. With another long run.
Long run, uses his body really well to shield off the defender.
Oh yeah, he took some contact and comes away with a smile. Come away smiling, man. No fear there.
And that takes us to a very evenly played on-serve half. We've been waiting for the results. And as opposed to the sad faces from Vicious women we were seeing earlier, we had some Havoc Mayhem women.
Big smile.
That was Claire. Claire Yale came by with a big smile to celebrate with us over here. So they're very happy to be headed to the finals against Huck.
Yeah, and it was, anyone usually facing the Japanese in the finals, they usually get a big crowd supporting them, right?
And interestingly, that's at least 2 divisions, which will be Singapore versus Japan in the finals.
So we said so, but in the mix, it's an all Filipino final.
So the rest of us will continue to watch the more interesting games. No, I would love to watch that Mulatto Boracay match. I think that's going to be fun. A lot of players who know each other well, who've played for each other's teams before.
Oh yeah, they've all played together. They've been playing together a long time. All learned and went through the sport together. So they know each other's games. So there's no secrets going on there. It's just mano a mano.
I mean, guy I really want to watch in that game. I want to see what Nelson does. You got a guy like Nelson, mulatto star, playing against a lot of the guys on Boracay, who he's played with many times.
He played with them for the few World Championships. There's a few. Even Kyra from Mulatto also played with them in France with the Pirates. So they know each other well.
Yeah, a lot of friends, but don't get me wrong, both teams want to win that. A lot of bragging rights because they do know each other so well.
Oh yeah. No, I guess you were here to catch the semifinals with the Pirates and SP, Sunken Pleasure?
I was drifting back and forth between this one and the Mulatto Paradigm, as well as a lot of other games. I was using one of my off hours to roam a little bit, but I did catch some of that game, and that was fantastic.
I thought that probably would have been the game of the tournament. I was so excited to see that, but we had a game, so I missed the whole thing. But I'm glad. That's why I asked you that question earlier. I'll be able to catch all these games around Field 1 on the PFBA YouTube channel. Right?
And it's not only about the games. I mean, it's the wonderful voices you hear with the games.
Okay. I'm not sure if everyone will agree with that, but definitely I will.
And we are in halftime. Even though they are yet to change the score on your screen, that is 8-7. Nomadic Tribe over Cracker Jacks. Very solid game so far. Very few turnovers. Very few turnovers, but very hard defense. It's not because the defenses are lacking by any means. They're getting right in each other's faces.
Yeah, we're getting a shot of the Vicious and Paradigm. Oh, is that Goannas? On the other side.
Vicious Men and Goanna's third place game over there.
Yeah, I think the cameraman's giving us a shot now. Instead of watching nothing. Don't know the score. I know the Vicious had quite a testy game with the Cracker Jacks in the semi-final. They needed a spirit timeout to calm things down.
If Apu, the spirit director here, earned his paycheck during that game. The semis between the Goannas and Nomadic was very different than this one. That was a very streaky game. Goannas went out 3-0. Nomadic came back. Then Goannas took another lead. Nomadic came back. So far, this one is just straightforward offensive scoring.
Just a couple of turnovers that I can recall.
So what are you thinking? You're coming to halftime at a pretty much even game, all offense. What are you telling your team?
I'm telling them good job. Just keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to change anything, obviously. Me when I'm coach, I try to think of maybe some some things to try on defense. Like I said, the Japanese, I've seen them change it up a little bit. They did the zone. They did a different kind of zone a little bit later, more of a wall zone. And Singapore, basically, they've come out with the same thing. So we'll see if they come up with any tactical changes this half. But as far as the players, yeah, I mean, I just give them high fives and tell them good job, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
But score just one more point than the last half. And last time I checked, in the heavily contested Cambodia-Indonesia mixed game, Indonesia was up 9-2 over Cambodia.
Pretty big difference.
I see more than likely Cambodia will come back to win that.
Okay, definitely always an optimist.
At 3 p.m., the food stalls, food caterers will close their booths. So get your food stalls here.
All right, and the second half has begun.
Cracker Jacks will be on the offense.
And this is an 8-7 game. Ignore what your screen says. And it looked like it was going to be a turnover, but it looks like a foul is called.
No contest, it looks like. So the disc will stay there. Up, there's a call. Pick 3.
Javel Cole with the disc. With Hiroki Onishi on the mark.
And the score, nice one.
And that takes us to 8-8. Now our screen has caught up. 8-8 is the score. 8-8 it is on your screen.
These brand games are being streamed live via YouTube, PFDA TV on YouTube.
Sounds like they just announced over the live speaker that they should tune in to the PFDA YouTube.
Hopefully more people will be hearing our lovely voices, huh?
And they will be able to heckle us right to our face.
For those players who are looking for AOUGCC merch, we have an official game disc by Disc Craft here at the command center.
Okay, Singapore with the pull. I mean, I love these pulls. Every single one of them deep in the end zone. I don't know if this. I mean, they've been going one direction this whole time. I guess I'm noticing the flags are like all the scores in that first half are in one direction. I guess they should be the opposite direction now. But they have switched. No, they're still all scoring in the same end zone because they switched sides and the other team went on offense. So every pull's been going downwind. So that's
I
the
see.
nice deep pulls. Although that one went out, so a little too deep. And the Japanese had a few long hucks, and good teams. They like actually throwing into the wind because it can help slow down that disc when they just put it right way out in front of their player.
It's about to go up again, and there it goes.
And looks
Hanging.
like we... Oh! I mean, looks like the defender had a play on it, but he didn't quite get to it. And
I think he was... He didn't get to it because he would have had to go through a forearm that was being shoved into his back by the Japanese receiver.
Okay.
If the Japanese receiver had caught that, I think there would have been a little bit of a discussion in the end zone.
Yeah, there's a few teams that are quite skilled at doing that because a lot of defenders don't call it if they don't have the experience. Right? Okay, Cracker Jack trying to get a quick break and go up and that was
3 nomadic defenders back there on Mason.
I think he figured out the height advantage, so but that could have been our first break of the day. But just last time they... Oh, here we go again. And it's...
Yuki Otani.
Again. That's his 3rd long huck. So he's obviously their designated huck, receiver.
Huck guy.
Yeah. We call him designated goal
Huck
scorer,
E.
actually. But
You saw what Singapore tried to do. They got the turn. They decided not to let Japan go ahead and set up in their D. Go right at him quickly. You could call it ill-advised.
If any of the Singaporeans, start to take note, because like I said, very popular tactic is, like I said, the designated goal scorer, where there's one guy who just really his game is to time his cut, for when a thrower's ready to send it long, and obviously he does that well. But obviously, if you're aware, you can take that away a little bit, play a little bit deeper.
With that last huck, Singapore tried to put it over to Mason, James Mason, who is, I don't know exactly, I believe he's about 8 feet tall. So
yeah,
I don't mind that.
Thought they had an advantage. So.
I don't mind that part of the decision. There were 3 Nomadic Tribe defenders back there, though.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. It depends who you got going long, but I would guess that guy can sky normally.
It looks like the Singapore player just got kicked.
Yep.
By
that's what you were talking about.
Ryota Yoshida. Be careful, Mr. Yoshida.
It's up the line cut. Oh, that looks... Oh, nice.
3:00 p.m. To those teams that are playing and want to get your food by packs, you may come to the
Right on the side.
food stall or the food caterer and get for all
Pick call.
your teammates.
Thank you, Singaporeans, for using the WFDF official hand signals.
The food caterer will close their booth
Very
at 3
much helps us in the booth.
Please get your food now.
Daryl Ng looking to the end zone. And Javel to Jamin Huang.
Okay, we have a tie score. No breaks yet in this game, this match. I mean, they've traded 2 underthrown hucks and then 2 other turnover hucks. So, they've pretty much been mirroring each other all game. You score, I score, you turn over, I'll turn over.
So you're saying they should try something crazy at this
I
point,
guess. Be different, might help.
Singaporean Cracker Jacks to pull to Japanese Nomadic Tribe. And it could go up again. Oh, no. We have a call.
Yeah, it looked like a contested. I mean, looked like he was swinging his arm out. Oh no, he's uncontested. He's coming in on 0. Break side. Oh, nice grab.
That's
Number 25.
Yuki Otani went to Harito Hashiguchi.
I'm impressed how you get these names. It pains me to even try.
Been in this region a lot. That's one of the exciting things about being in this region. We've talked about this, along with the languages and all the different cultures, is all the different names people have out here. Now the Filipino teams, for us, are a lot easier. Y'all just sound Mexican. Luckily, the Singaporeans are nice enough to generally have English language first names.
And, you know, their last names are a little bit shorter, you know. Like the Koreans, too.
Unfortunate, the Cambodians didn't have a Field 1 game. I would have loved to hear you try out the Cambodian names.
But, you know, I was just saying, realizing the Japanese, they like to make everything hard on everyone, even the announcers. Because Cracker Jack is definitely having a hard time with their offense right now.
Again, for those who want to watch the live stream of Field 1 happening right now, you may watch it in the PMPA.
Okay, it looks like we got a zone coming out here by the Tribe.
Ako po yung team captain ng Carne Norte. Regarding po sa game, pinapatawag si Jordan. Yes, Jordan.
Okay, so Japanese look like they were in the zone again, and Singapore
And
easily gets but. Oh, is there a call?
The disc goes back. Yes, it is easy to move the disc up if all the defenders have stopped. This was going back.
Huber.
There is space beyond. There are 6 defenders in your screen right now. Oh, one just cut out. Japanese defenders are very close. They can just get a couple passes off. I can see them moving up the field. Japanese are not going to make that easy, though.
Like when you watch the Japanese, like the Filipino zone, when you watch them, they just look like they're in an earthquake. They're all moving and shaking and trying to confuse you. The Japanese, they're just slow and steady, and they travel. Okay.
Your foot should be there.
A few inches off. This can be a game of inches sometimes.
Very patient, able to work it through. Finished off by Andrew C. And we are at 10s.
Maynard.
(10-10) Nomadic Tribe, Cracker Jacks, AOU GCC 2017, Alabang Country Club, Manila in the Philippines. Jared and Jude, and the men's final. In 10-10, we are getting to the point. Just one break, and this game is done. Perhaps. Or it could just start a flood of breaks.
Let's see. One comes. Oh, he just let it go. That was just about a meter past.
That indecision could have been the break that Singapore needed right there. If he had just touched the disc, done something a little weird.
Or even if he could have caught it and just been stuck in the back of the end zone, but
luckily it
obviously,
flies out.
they got enough. The Japanese have enough experience to know.
Paging the captain of Bagani. Paging the captain of Bagani to the command center, please.
Thought he was gonna let that go.
Takehisa Ishii falls away like he was smacked pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, they do like to sell it. I don't know. You can make your own calls. You don't need to sell it.
Calling the team
Did earn a good laugh from his Singaporean marker.
Team captain of Bagani to the command center, please.
And another score for Nomadic. (11-10).
I'm just realizing.
What?
This is the second AOU. Well, the first one was CC. There was no guts in it, but in Manila, 2009, we were here also. It was us and the Japanese in the open final. That was actually a spectacular game. If we get a little break in play here, I'll tell you a little bit about it.
Well, let's hope there's no break in play then.
We are requesting spectators to please clear the stage area so we can finish setting up the stage. Okay? We are requesting the spectators to clear the stage area.
You know how us old guys get with our old guy stories. I mean, I could tell you some things about Singapore Open 2000. Well, actually, I don't want to talk about that. That was a horrible tournament. And it goes up big.
And the score, 11-all.
And Cracker Jacks still have no numbers on the front of their uniform.
Again, we are requesting the spectators to leave, to vacate the stage area so we can finish setting
All
up
right, tell me
stage.
about the AOU-CC final in Manila, 2009.
Yeah, so back then, because everyone was basically playing open and mixed, like it was separate one day for the open and the next day for the mixed, they were only playing to 11, 1 hour game. And we had this nice final. The Japanese team came with 11 guys, and we had 25. We had a nice deep team, best of the best from the Philippines. We formed one team, so we were very good. And we had a battle going on with them, and the whole place was just going crazy, play after play, and they ended up getting to 11-10 before us, and should have won, but they went back on the line. They didn't know the game was over, so basically everyone was loving the game, and they were the only ones not playing in the mixed division. Oh, here we go. We might have a break in action.
That's the kind of block you want to fire your team up.
See if they can convert this time. They've gotten 2 breaks and given it right back.
And that's Eric Artavia with the disc.
Oh! Japanese took it right back. Nice layout B.
Things are beginning to get interesting.
And going. I thought Singapore was really going to break through that time.
Get a massive block like they did. Japan answers just like they have all game, going back and forth, mirroring each other. Massive block of their own. Masahito Inoue.
There we go.
Masahito.
Oh, no, not in. There we go.
Ishii finds Kuramochi to hold serve and keep us on serve at 12-11.
But so there, I'm going to continue my story, as I was saying. 11-10, they go back out on the field. So we said, okay, well, let's continue playing. Why not? Everyone was loving the game. Everyone was watching. And the Japanese, they were amazing. I said 11 guys. They were so tired. We were trying to tire them out with 25 guys. We kept playing to 15. It was 14 all. Ultimate point. We were able to score the 15 point, and they were so dejected. Then, of course, we went up and told them, guys, this was only supposed to be to 11, so you actually won. And they were crying after that. They were like, oh, they couldn't believe. But it was one of the craziest things you ever see on an ultimate field. But that 11 guys could take out 25 of us was extremely impressive.
And the weather out here is not forgiving to short rostered teams.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, luckily that year wasn't too hot, but still, there was a lot less teams, so now, the depth is really, like I said, really helps. Especially on a day like today when you're playing 3 games against top level teams. You want your guys to have had rest the rest of the time.
Yep, and there's a foul. Foul. Javel Ko with the disc. Fouled by Katsuhuri Hori. Good pressure by the Japanese.
And yeah, the 2009, that was the first AOUCC. I can see the Pirates warming up behind. They'll be coming up next, the mixed final. Let's see, that year, like I said, the Japanese won the Open. So let's see if they can get their second AOUCC title. The last one in Hong Kong, we won for the Philippines. I wish I could remember who won. Oh, oops. And we have a turnover. That was ill-advised. There was no chance for that one to get through. Looks like Japan will take a timeout.
A big moment right now. Japan can move down the field and score this. This will put a lot of pressure on Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, I mean, kind of surprising. That first AOUCC, there were actually 9 teams in the open division. I don't know if it's the Philippines, that's drawing more of these teams, or I don't know. What's your view on that, Jared? Why there was 9, there was just 4 in Singapore, and now 22?
Well, there's been a big push in the last couple of years to move towards single gender. Both the Philippines and Singapore, 2 of the leaders in that push. A lot of the clubs, a lot of the movers and shakers in both communities have really pushed for single gender, and so the clubs have followed suit and have let their players start to train single gender. And Singapore, you've seen it grow a lot. With the rise of the Cracker Jacks, Havoc. Up here, now you have the Vicious Men and Women training separately.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say the Vicious Men, they're actually, I mean, a lot of Filipinos, it's core Filipinos, but they have a lot of non-Filipinos. The Vicious Women, I believe we're mostly all, I'm not sure if they picked up anyone, but majority, if not all, were Filipinas. So, it's good to see that.
Is that counting Will as Filipino or foreign?
Well, that's the men. I mean, Will, I know, it's hard to tell. We call him Willipino, man. So, but no, Will, he's pretty much, he's a Filipino. He's the whitest Filipino I know, man.
No, he was one of the people who were really pushing for growth of single gender ultimate up here.
Yeah, absolutely. At least the last few years. I don't know. Us, the Dragons, we've basically been pushing single gender since the start, so that's what we love, at least on the beach. And for me, I guess it depends on your style of game. To me, single gender and mixed, they're for different styles. Help, different types of qualities, and so.
Well, back when I started playing in the U.S., there was no mixed. There was no mixed division.
Really?
There was men's and women's, with a couple novelty mixed tournaments thrown in there. So when we played mixed tournaments, both...
Oh! So turn it right back over. Again, just mirroring.
We will get back to that in a minute. Nomadic Tribe had an opportunity to go ahead and break, but they turned it over. Hard defense by Singapore, a lot of pressure.
There's going to be a call there. Yeah, at this level, if you see someone that wide open, usually something happened somewhere.
Demetrius Tan with the disc when it comes in. That will be Ryota Nishinaka on the mark. Demetrius has already shown that he is very into that inside-out backhand. A chess game. Nishinaka knows that he can throw that.
Okay, we are all tied up again.
And that's the thing, the break mark throws open up that open side. The Japanese defenders all had to be concerned about Dimitri's break mark throws there. They lean a little bit towards break mark side, and that gives the Singaporean cutter a lot of opportunity to just roll over to the open side.
Yeah, you just got to be a lot tighter than you normally would have to be if you feel confident that that they can't make that throw that easy.
And we're at 12-12, even up in the men's final.
And I mean, I have to say, I mean, it's a great game watching all this offensive execution. But I guess 3 turnovers each so far, and all the offenses got it right back. But I mean, I hate to see a team lose without a break in the game.
Don't say it. Let's hope we don't get to that.
Oh, am I jinxing someone? I don't know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have said it right now, but it just, I mean, I've seen it happen before. Where one team wins, and basically it's that flip of the disc that made all the difference.
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah. I mean, you like to see someone at least get that break and really say, okay, well, we did a little bit more than you to earn that win. Because right now they're both deserving. I mean, there's no losers as far as I'm concerned so far. Another
Takayuki, no. Getting confused here. That is Takehisa Ishii goes down.
I guess you're calling a foul on that one too.
Tight mark by Si Xiang. I mean, Singapore knows that they have to get this disc back. At some point, they're going to have to get a break to win this game.
Yes, absolutely. So
they're tightening it up, aggressive, moving along the mark.
Even their marks, you can feel the energy. They're really being a lot more aggressive. Calling a push-off.
I don't remember if this is the matchup it was called on earlier, going the other way, where the Japanese player called a push-off on the Singaporean player. But that's how this game's been. It's been physical, it's been tight.
Well, we retracted it. I mean, it looked like it didn't affect it, but
he just wanted to be heard. He just wanted someone to listen to him.
And sometimes when you're... nice put. That guy, he wants everything done right, huh? And the Japanese go ahead.
A lot of space for Yuki Otani again. 13-12 Nomadic Tribe over Cracker Jacks.
The Japanese just need to hold serve 2 more times, and they're going home with the gold. And yeah, so I'm remembering now in the mixed division, Singapore took the AOUCC championship. And it was very interesting that year, actually, for the mixed division. Since AOUCC wasn't very big, we mixed it with the Manila Spirits. So basically, the highest finishing Asian team took home the gold. So basically, I believe they lost to, I don't know if it was Black Flag, but they actually lost in the final, but didn't win Manila Spirits. Got the silver in Manila Spirits, but the gold in the AOUCC. So Singapore took home that first mixed. And I believe Australia took it in Singapore. And this year we know it'll be a Filipino team.
But over here in the men's division, it will either be a Japanese team or a Singaporean team. Cracker Jack's moving up on the sideline. He's going to look to the end zone. Daryl Eng over here with the disc. Pick called.
And this is the point of the game where, you know, I mean, nerves or pressure can start to build, you know. But yeah, I don't see any of these guys.
Andrew C. with the disc in the end zone, looking at Aaron Saya right in front of him. Wataru Tashiro on the mark.
Okay, and
There.
13 all.
Right to Aaron Saya, right in front of him. And we're at 13 all.
Yeah, I was mentioning this is the type of time of the game when pressure starts to build and people start to make mistakes, but I just don't see it from either of these guys. Huh? They both look like they want this and feel like they deserve it, and it's going to be theirs.
Yeah, going back to an earlier thought that I will not mention again, the Cracker Jacks know that at this point they need the disc back very, very quickly. I expect to see them
Yeah, they have 2 more chances, right?
flying all over the field now.
Hang on, this is when you start putting your best guys.
High risk, high reward.
There's just 2 more points, 2 more defensive points left in this tournament. So I mean, maximum 3 more points in this tournament. So you know you don't leave anything on the table, right? You just finish it all up, man.
And I can see that the Cracker Jacks probably see this as a big moment in the Cracker Jacks project. A team that's a few years old, has been working hard, improving, trying to grow men's ultimate in Singapore. And this is a big, big moment for them, and they would love to punctuate that moment with a trophy.
No, I mean I have to say, you know, they've improved tenfold since the last one in Singapore.
Very tight mark. Noon on the mark.
Have a stoppage. The team opponent
It's also the time of game where calls get much more contentious. Takiza Ishii with the disc.
No game.
Some discussion on the field about where the players are supposed to start.
We need a medical field present.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh, just out of the reach of Takiza Ishii. Big moment.
Ah, great call. Great
Short
call.
field. Oh my. That's not a mistake I would expect the Japanese to make, especially at that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
We'll see. We'll see if they get it back this time. But you know, Singapore, great time to take a timeout. You know, no reason to save them at this point. And every time they've gotten, I think 2 turnovers before, and they just turned it right back over. So they definitely don't want to do that again this time.
That's true. That has been the pattern of this game so far, that whenever there has been a turnover by Nomadic, they've gone ahead and given the disc right back. So I have to agree. It's a great timeout call, change the pattern, have a set play in there.
Yeah, you get organized, know what you want to do. Let's see if they can get this first break and put the pressure back on the Japanese.
Captain of Sublime and Rascal, each on the command center.
I mean, we've gone 26 points without a break. I wouldn't be surprised if we break to the rest of the game. You know, that's how these things go sometimes, huh?
All right, huge, 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 huge. Disc about 25 meters out.
Yeah, they're still moving all over the place.
I'm
I'm not sure if they. Okay, now they kind of seem set. Japan showing man.
Ooh.
Nice grab.
Tabia to Hafiz Maideen. Maideen. It's all tight, all tight. Oh.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and you know, I do have to say, like a lot of these really experienced teams, it's like they know when you're coming to the break side. They do just kind of put that foul out there, right?
He just wrapped the arm around him, stopped him from pivoting out there. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's. I mean, obviously you're making a play on the disc, but sometimes, you know, I feel like, you know, spirit-wise, you know, it just seems like they know that you know, it's a tough situation, and you know.
And that's Eric Artavia. Originally from a Latin American country, which I can't quite remember right now.
Oh, I thought they could get that.
Jethro on the goal line.
No. I mean, that's contact, right? Compared to the earlier one where you just throw yourself over there. Okay. Oh, nice grab. That was almost trouble.
Goes back to Jethro.
This is basically the game here. I mean, you can't imagine they're going to get another break. I don't know how many turnovers they've gotten. But
beautiful low inside out.
It was out of our picture, so
we
didn't see, but obviously it was too far past, and we had a bunch of spectators in front of us, so I couldn't see that according to the end zone, but it turned over.
The throw looked beautiful. It looked pretty.
It sure did. I thought he would have it. They looked so solid, I didn't think he would release it if he wasn't sure. But here we go. So, Nomadic Tribe back on.
Can Singapore get another D right now? Once again to
and you know, so oh yeah, that was a big point.
Harito Hashiguchi finishes that off. and is close to finishing this whole thing off right here. 14-13. Tribe needs 1 point. Cracker Jacks need 2.
Cracker Jacks need a break. Tribe just need to hold serve. But I mean, that timeout definitely was a good timeout compared to every time they got the turnover before. They just kind of gave it back real quick. That time, you know, they were a lot more organized. They got down to the goal line, and yeah, just a tough break. I guess it was probably just out of the reach of the
They gave themselves a chance to score there, absolutely, and something happened in that corner. They didn't complete the pass.
We don't actually know.
Rolling disc giving the Nomadic Tribe.
Oh, and the turnover. So Japan can finish it right here.
Almost see that coming.
Yeah, you know, I mean, after a point like that, like I said, I mean, you know you're not going to get many chances after that, and it's sometimes hard to, you know, pump yourself up.
Yeah, a little bit of a heartbreaker, that last one.
And, you know, I mean, of course, that is, again, the difference experience and being here and, you know, because that was, I mean, from the turnovers, that was obviously the easiest turnover today. It just kind of threw it down way too low. Let's see if they can answer. So far, they've answered the call every time. I mean, I believe their offense only turned over once, and they got it right back. So, oh, nice to the break side. And you know, once the Japanese get so close, man, it's hard, man. Because they're so methodical. Oh! I thought he was going to have it. But, you know, once the throws start to get a lot shorter, you know, it's tough to stop the Japanese.
Right on the goal line. About 5 meters out.
Bit of a travel there.
Takes a couple trots toward the middle of the field.
And there we have it. The Japanese have won their second AOUCC Open Division gold medal.
That was Hiroki Onishi finding Katsuhide Hori to finish this one off. Nomadic Tribe 15, Cracker Jacks Crush 13 in the men's finals of AOGCC 2017.
Yeah, a great game, spectacular game, and you know, I mean, again, you know, it's amazing how like the whole game can just turn on one play. I don't know, like I said, game of inches. We didn't see what happened in that front corner, but again, could have been a few inches out or you know a few inches from that disc, and turns the whole game around, right? If you catch that score, and when they went up 14-13, that would have been big.
It came down to 1 point. It came down to they got the turnover. They need to convert then. If they didn't, that was going to be done. It was going to be over at that point. Weren't able to do it. Matter of inches. They go home with silver instead of gold.
Well, I mean, it's still a great showing. You know, I mean, it is a great showing for them.
Very even matchup. Well, very well played both ways.